Alex, new from overnight, one person is dead and two others are hurt after a shooting in Fort Valley.
The city's police department says it happened just before 11 last night around 1105 Edward Street. A web search for that address comes up as Lakeview Apartments. Officers found 3 people shot. Ambulances took them to a hospital and one person later died there. The other 2 are still getting treatment. Investigators are waiting to release the names of the victims until they can notify their families.
There is also no word on a shooter right now. Fort Valley Police says that the GBI is helping them in the investigation. If you have any information on the case, you can call the police department at 478-825-3383. That number again, it's 478-825-3383.
All right, now Bibb deputies are trying to figure out who's responsible for a shooting on Macon's Sewanee Avenue. Sergeant Linda Howard with the sheriff's office says it happened just before 10 last night in the 2600 block.
She says someone shot a man in the arm. He went to a hospital and should be okay. We don't know yet what led up to that shooting.
In last 5 years, we don't have any problem inside. Outside, that's the different things we can do outside, you know. People get together or fire each other or something. We can handle it. That's not in our hand.
We are continuing coverage on a Macon convenience store following 2 deadly shootings within the last month. Now the owner of Friends Food Mart on Houston Avenue is battling to keep his store open.
Last night, Bibb deputies served Bob Patel an order temporarily closing his store for the next 30 days. As the store's fate heads to court, Patel says he has hired an attorney to fight back. The decision to shut down the store for a month comes after recent gun violence there that left 3 people dead and 1 other person hurt. A Superior Court judge signed the order Tuesday after an emergency hearing.
Bibb County says the business is a well-known center of frequent criminal activity requiring regular patrols. Patel says he shouldn't be held responsible for neighborhood problems that overflow onto his property. Well, next up in the case is a June 29th hearing to determine whether the store should reopen or permanently close.
As the county grapples with how to handle gun violence in its streets, family and friends are dealing with loss after a deadly shooting in the convenience store Monday night.
He was a son, he was a brother, he was a nephew, and he was a father. So the hole that you take any male out of, any female out of, that's the type of hole there. It's a gaping hole.
Pastor Richard Vaughn of Bloomfield Baptist Church says he was a mentor and teacher to Braxton Cole, the 19-year-old killed on Monday. He says Cole always had a smile on his face and was a hard worker in school.
While the Bibb County Sheriff's Office says Cole was the aggressor, Monday Vaughn says one situation should not define who he was as a person. Vaughn also says Macon needs programs that benefit our young people directly, and the community needs to work together to do something. Cole's mother says there will be a funeral for him as soon as they get his body back from the GBI.
And the sheriff's office says Cole drew his gun on Roderick Felton and fired first before getting shot himself. His mother says she does not believe that and wants to see the store surveillance video.
New at 6, one family still has questions after their loved one's death last year. They remain dedicated to finding answers in the deadly traffic accident from last September.
Our morning reporter TJ Anthony joins us in studio with the information that they hope will heat up what one investigator calls a cold case.
Yep, that's right, Caitlin and Wanye. David Kitchens Jr. was riding along Log Cabin Drive on his motorcycle when another vehicle hit him. Now his sister and the woman who planned to marry him are doing all they can to find the person responsible, including even hiring a private detective.
He's my brother, he was my best friend, he was the last piece of my family I had.
Dawn Kelly and LaShonda Womble both lost a loved one on September 26, 2021. Investigators believe this Chrysler 300 hit and killed David Eugene Kitchens Jr. as he was driving his motorcycle on Log Cabin Drive in Macon. After hitting Kitchens, the driver left.
You know, because these people did this, he'll never, ever know what it feels like to hold his grandbaby, give his daughters away at their wedding, teach his son how to be a man. I mean, they just cheated so many people by what they did, and they just need to stand up and be accountable.
The Bibb County investigator in charge of the case, Shannon Mosley, says right now it's a cold case. All the leads they have had led to dead ends. This video shows the car investigators believe hit Kitchens seconds before the collision. In this other video from neighbors, it shows the car actually stopping right after hitting Kitchens, then driving off. With so many unanswered questions, his family is dedicated to finding out who killed a man that meant so much to many.
I'm not resting, I'm not sleeping. I just want to know who did this to David. I mean, I just don't think it's fair that you took a life and you didn't care.
Wow. Now Kitchens left behind a daughter, a stepdaughter, and a stepson. His stepdaughter just graduated from Howard High School. Now the family is urging anyone with information on the owner of the Chrysler 300 to please come forward. Caitlin and Wanya, back to you.
Thank you so much, TJ. Hopefully this can help get them some kind of answers and closure.
I hope so. You
can get a reward for any information leading to an arrest through the private investigator business that the family hired. That's Martinelli Investigations.
Their tip line is 770-337-3999. Again, that number, 770-337-3999. It's now 6:38 on your Thursday morning. Today, Bibb County leaders want your help with improving pedestrian safety. The county says there will be a news conference this morning to announce another effort to encourage you to make roads safer. It's happening at the Government Center at 10, but you can watch it live on the Pedestrian Safety Review Board's Facebook page. The board's chair, as well as District 3 Commissioner Elaine Lucas and Mayor Lester Miller, will speak at the event.
And tonight you can share your thoughts and concerns on public safety in Bibb County. Commissioner Paul Bronson plans to hold another town hall forum to hear from members of District 2. Representatives from the fire and sheriff's departments will all be there. The county says there will also be a conversation on public works projects like streetlights, sidewalks, potholes, and other neighborhood topics. The meeting's tonight at Memorial Gym on 2nd Street. It runs from 5:30 until 7. And in your state news, a Fulton County prosecutor now set to lead the state's new gang prosecution unit. Georgia's Attorney General Chris Carr made that announcement yesterday. Fulton County Deputy District Attorney Cara Convery will run the unit when it starts operating July 1st. She'll lead 11 attorneys and paralegals. The Attorney General's office, along with local prosecutors, will have authority to bring gang cases under the new law. Carr says the law will help his office work with law enforcement, district attorneys, and federal agencies.
Tax collections in Georgia look like they may deliver another big surplus in the state's budget. Figures released yesterday show the state's already collected roughly $2 billion more in revenue than it's on track to spend in the budget ending on June the 30th. Plus, Georgia will bank another month of tax collections before it closes the books on the 2022 budget. That could add another $2.5 billion to the surplus. The heavy bank account could make it possible for the state to further cut taxes or expand services. Georgia ran a $3.7 billion surplus in the 2021 budget. June represents Pride Month in the U.S. Here in Georgia, organizers say one city will make history by hosting its first Pride Parade. The event will take center stage in downtown Athens this Sunday and celebrate the merging of two queer organizations, Athens Pride and Athens Queer Collective. The parade will also serve as a march to bring awareness and visibility to issues affecting those who identify with the LGBTQ+ communities. Organizers say the event will kick off around 1:30 Sunday afternoon. Well, the time is now 6:40 a.m. Anybody who's going to be enjoying any type of event this weekend, it seems like it's going to be hot.
Hot, but the humidity, you said, might be a little bit lower.
Yeah, it's still going to be there, but not.
Well, of course, we can't get rid of it completely.
Like it's going to be there, but not there.
It is summertime, after all, here in central Georgia. But the good news is the lower humidity means not as great of a shower or storm risk across central Georgia. Speaking of showers, that's what we're seeing right now in Perry. Light rain, 71 degrees. This part of a system that's been working its way through overnight. Here's the radar picture. Most of the rain still in Macon County, but you can see it skirting across Interstate 75 there, southern Houston County. It's going to continue that motion here over the next little bit. It did have some lightning associated with it earlier. In fact, a little bit more now here right along the Macon-Taylor County line, Schley County there north of Ellaville. That might get into Montezuma. Probably hearing some thunder in Montezuma right now. Here's a look at temperatures across the region. 68 Monticello as well as Forsyth, 70 in Macon, Gordon 72 in Cochran, and 75 waking up this morning in Dodge County. Across the southeast, it's mostly quiet. A few showers. South central Alabama, that's pushing towards the Florida Panhandle, and that's about it. We do have a front draped right about there, which is going to cool off our air, well, cool off the humidity, if you will, the dew point values as we head into the afternoon hours. So here we go on Future View. This is 6 a.m. Now, one thing I want to point out, the showers and storms we're seeing now, not on Future View, so take it with a grain of salt for at least the first few hours. Once we get later into the afternoon, I think this is where we pick up with an accurate representation of what's going on across central Georgia. Partly cloudy skies right around 11 a.m. And then as we head through the afternoon hours, mostly quiet, but one or two scattered showers before this front comes on through. The front is going to slide on through during the evening hours. A few more scattered showers associated with it. This is 11 p.m. And then it'll be out of here for the start of your Friday here in central Georgia. Waking up a little cooler Friday morning than we are this morning, mid-60s as opposed to low 70s. And then as we head through Friday afternoon, temperatures warming into the 80s rather quickly and to the 90s before all is said and done. Then we'll be watching the mid-levels of the atmosphere. See if we get a piece of energy rolling through that could fire off a few showers late Friday night into Saturday. Maybe 1 or 2 showers for the Macon Bacon game tomorrow night, unfortunately. But all of that is penciled in with a number 2 pencil. Here we go into the weekend, summertime stuff, about a 10% chance of rain each day. That's going to carry us through to the start of next week, which promises to be hot here in central Georgia. So near average for the next 3 days. Average is right around 90. Then we begin to stair step up. 94 on Sunday, 96 on Monday, and we're going to keep going through there. But like Wanya, Caitlin, and I were just talking about, the humidity, a brief break from it, waking up to dew points in the 50s tomorrow. So still there, still in the light green. And then that's going to carry through during the afternoon hours as well. But anything beats the upper 60s or 70s like we typically see. Now, it is June after all. A quick check of the tropics. We are not looking at any development in the next 5 days in the Atlantic, and we are certainly thankful for that. Today, headed for a high temperature of about 89 degrees. That front arriving. A few scattered showers, but you will probably go the whole day without seeing not a whole lot in the way of rainfall the next 3 days. 90s, steadily warming up into the mid-90s for Sunday, and we are not stopping there. Up to 98 for Tuesday and Wednesday, a 20% chance of showers and storms both days. Humidity will return. That will put heat indice values closer to 100 here in central Georgia.
They would not let them have the bricks till after World War I was completed. If you can imagine this building with no brick on the outside of it, that's what it was. Naked, I guess.
Well, First Baptist Church in Marshallville may have looked a bit strange at one point in its history, but today it's ornate and majestic. Suzanne Lawler continues her series Sacred Spaces and has more on the congregation's interesting history. That story is coming up right after the break.